Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the most underrated show on YouTube, and congrats everybody on 50,000 subscribers. Tesla is coming your way. All right. 50,000 subscribers, guys. Thank you for your support. It's been a heck of a ride. It's been weird. I mean, if you would have told me back in, September of last year that I would have been doing this and been on YouTube and people know me and it's weird, but yeah, it would be different. So I wouldn't expect it, but thank you guys. Thanks for the support. And hey, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We're going to keep growing this thing and we will go from there. So let's get into it a little bit today. What do we have? Futures. They're sitting pretty neutral. So, there's not much news out there today. I'm seeing a lot more news. There's more like politics and GameStop. That's really all that I'm seeing. So it was a struggle to find sources out there. But before we get started, I just want to take a look at the earnings calendar because we're starting to get some important earnings coming out. KBH, Steelcase, maybe some of you guys are in that. And then tomorrow's the big one. I won't be here, remember, but pay attention to it. BlackBerry, Nike, Carnival Cruise, Rite Aid, FedEx. Let's see, Darden Restaurants. What else do we have? That's that. Let's go over here. I think I've seen the paychecks thrown around in there a little bit. So just be conscientious of your earnings dates if you're trading them. Now, if you are doing a swing trade. If you're just value investing this thing, leave it. Just do your thing. So let's get into it. Let's get some stories going. Where did I want to start? I wanted to start. Somebody asked me if I was going to talk about Powell. Very little. I have nothing more to say about this. It is what it is. Powell says the economy has a long way to go. We have a long way to go. Powell said to the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Crisis on Tuesday. So he testified in front of Congress yesterday. I think it's a quarterly or biannual thing. So the Fed chief committed to the central bank to doing everything we can to support the economy for as long as it takes. That's what he highlighted that there's still a little over 7.5 million jobs shortage from the pre-pandemic levels. Powell reiterated his optimism about the path of the economy, expecting strong job creation in the fall as COVID-19 fears fade, schools reopen, and enhanced unemployment benefits begin to expire. So I saw a story out there that jobs numbers are not getting back to where they were supposed to be. Like I've said a million times, and I'm going to say it again, I think it's going to be the fall, and we're starting to see a lot of stories about the fall because that's when everything's going to start getting back to it. Schools are going to be back. Parents don't have to be home with their children as much. They can go get their jobs. They're removing the unemployment benefit. There's a lot of bigger companies that are offering big incentives to come back to work. So I think that's when we're going to start to see it. And of course, more people are going to be vaccinated and whatnot. So in the meantime, Powell said he continues to see inflationary pressures as transitory, although he described the idea of 5% inflation as not acceptable. So I was watching the testimony yesterday, and whoever the head of the committee is, it sounded like he had marbles in his mouth because I kept rewinding, and I literally could not understand the name. He asked a congresswoman, she had the floor for 5 minutes to ask Chairman Powell questions, and I couldn't understand what he was saying, and they didn't put her name up on the screen. So she said to him, please define what transitory means, and he wouldn't define what transitory means. So Powell's commentary comes as officials within the central bank express their eagerness to kick off discussions of paring back the Fed's asset purchase program, i.e. quantitative easing. That's the $120 billion a month in U.S. Treasury bonds and mortgage-backed securities. 13 of the policy-setting Fed Open Market Committee of the 18 members see the case for raising rates at least once by end of 2023. And the once means 25 basis points. So they're moving that up a little bit. But that's about it for the Fed. So nothing changes. He basically said everything that he said in his notes on whatever day that was, on Monday afternoon. So he just verbalized it yesterday. And then he took questions from Congress people, and they actually asked pretty good questions, but he stuck to his talking points and didn't say anything. Most official take on jobs. Winter is coming. Here's Matthew Jones again. All right. Excuse me. Weekly mortgage refinance demand jumps as some fear end of super low rate is near. So this is kind of a catch-22 balance that we have going on here. Mortgage rates rose last week along with demand for refinancing, and I have to believe that is a direct correlation to the Fed saying that they're going to increase their rates sooner than they were anticipating. Applications to refinance home loans rose 3% last week from the previous week. The volume is still down 9%, is still lower 9%. Volume was 9% lower than a year earlier. Sheesh. Rates jumped. Yep, rates jumped after the Federal Reserve indicated last week that the hikes could come in 2023, a year earlier than expected. And still, guys, they're saying 25 basis points. It's not going to get crazy, which has kept mortgage rates to record lows. When we were looking at that story yesterday, in 2004, January 2004, they were saying that they were going to keep rates near zero, and then all of a sudden they kicked them up 425 basis points like 6 months later. That's room to get a little bit flustered, not 25 basis points. Now, when it comes to this also, we are seeing mortgages decreasing, But it also goes back to A, supply and demand, B, housing prices. Going on, so I was listening to a radio show yesterday on my way home from the office, and there was a guy, he was talking about lumber costs. And what he said was, it's interesting because now that lumber costs are going down, the orders that people put in when lumber was up 300% or whatever it was, now they're getting they're getting their deliveries of lumber, and now they want refunds because the lumber cost is way cheaper, but they're having to pay for it. So this is another issue that's being caused. So you can kind of see that everything just rolls down the road. It's one problem to the next. If you try to fix things, like Warren Buffett says, in the economy, when you try to do one thing, it's not let's fix it with this. It's what's next. So, all right, let's go to gold. Speaking about inflation and interest rates and this and that. This guy wrote an opinion piece. I don't think it was a very good article, but I wanted to talk about the headline of it. Don't be surprised if gold goes up in the coming days, it begins to rally. So many missed the contrarian backdrop to last week's plunge, since there was a more immediate culprit, the announcement of the Fed about raising rates sooner than later. Now, here's this chart. I don't want to talk about the chart. I wanted to get down here. Regardless of the extent and duration of gold's subsequent rally, will be a function of how quickly gold timers turn bullish. So this whole thing is about timing gold, and to me, like I've said many times, and I'm invested, I have a big position in gold. It's a long-term play, and I keep saying 3 to 5 years, 2 to 5 years, whatever. It's a long-term play. If you want to try to trade gold or try to be quickly bullish, quickly bearish, I have to believe that you're going to get pretty burned, because gold, just based on what we saw last week from the Fed's decision, Thursday, Friday was brutal for gold, and I don't think it had to be. But if you didn't have stops in place or you missed those giant gaps, you can get yourself in some trouble. So in my opinion, it's not the most useful thing to trade, I don't know. I just wouldn't trade gold. That's all I have to say about that. Anyways, if they basically what he's saying is he's trying to time gold, or people are trying to time gold. If you don't try to time gold, I think you will do well. I do think you will do well. Contrarian to popular belief, Bitcoin is not a hedge for gold. Facts. All right. Oil could get to $100 a barrel. Here are the stocks to play it. All right. Gold covered calls. I did have covered calls on gold, but I actually removed them. I had GDX covered calls at $60 for an expiration of January of 2022, and I decided to remove those because they were up 80%, and I didn't want to wait another 6 months for them to expire, so I took my 80% and I went home. Oil prices could spike to above $100 a barrel next year if demand keeps improving, according to a Bank of America analyst. Currently, well, as of Monday, $74.90 for a barrel of oil, which is the highest level since October of 2018. Oil has risen above $100 several times in the past 2 decades, but the chances of that happening again seem to diminish as dynamics change in the industry. U.S. shale drilling became so productive in the middle of last decade, it appeared that the supply would always stay high enough to keep prices down, regardless of what OPEC and other oil-producing countries did. Electric cars will almost certainly cause demand for oil to fall. I'm not totally convinced on that yet, but the past year has turned those assumptions on their head. So I guess if these electric car companies, aside from Tesla, start actually succeeding, yeah, maybe we can start talking about the demand for oil falling because of EVs. But I'm yet to see a car company come out with an electric car except for Tesla. Of course, Porsche has theirs out, but I can't imagine that they're selling a massive number of them especially compared to all their other vehicles. But when we start pumping those numbers up, then I'll be more convinced of it. But right now, I just keep seeing all these SPAC companies failing, and this is all hype and speculation at this point. U.S. oil production is nearly 12% below its peak levels, and a few analysts expect it to come all the way back in the next couple of years. OPEC has also restrained drilling. That means that fuel demand is jumping, but supply hasn't caught up yet. And of course, there was a lot of built up supply demand issues go back last year when nobody was driving around. So this gentleman from Bank of America, the analyst, he sees Brent being at $68 to $75. $68 this year, $75 in 2022. And he sees three reasons of why prices could increase. First, there's plenty of pent-up mobility demand after an 18-month lockdown. Second, mass transit will lag because people don't want to be next to each other. And the third is people will be working remotely from home, causing more miles to be driven, I guess. I don't know how that one works, but that's that. So very interesting. What do you guys, tell me what you guys think about oil. I literally have no idea. I can't decide which way it's going to go. Oil is such a geopolitical issue. I mean, once you start figuring out one thing, you got to figure out another, and it's crazy. And I've told this story on the show before, and I'll say it again. Guys, smash the like button for me. Let's get that one up there to over 100 quickly. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I was listening to a radio show. I was either in high school or I was just in college or something like that. And I was coming home, and I heard on the news that there was a bird that flew into a refinery in some middle state, and that caused the gas prices to go above $4 a gallon. This is back in the early 2000s. And I was like, okay, this oil thing is a total game, and these people just play games because we're talking about a bird flying into a refinery, and this is what's going to cause oil to go, or gas prices to go up all around the country. And I'm just like, all right, I don't understand this. So if you understand it, God bless you. Okay, some 48 million Americans will travel on the 4th of July, but they'll pay through the nose for rental cars. Wait till you see the end of this story. The end of this story is incredible. Don, at least with the diesel fuel, you get a little bit better gas mileage, I guess. I had a diesel truck at one point. I was getting like 28 miles a gallon or something. It was pretty sweet. But it was a 3 liter. It wasn't like a 6.7 liter. Something crazy. All right. Some 48 million Americans are hopping on trains, planes, and automobiles over the 4th of July weekend. Most, it seems, will be traveling by road. That's a nearly 40% jump from last year when 34 million Americans visited family. So when I saw this number, this number actually shocked me. 34 million Americans traveled last year during July in COVID. Doesn't that seem like a lot? To me, I looked at that number. I was like, man, that's a big number for, I mean, I feel like we were still in the midst of some kind of shutdown. Things weren't going on. They were like, you know what I'm saying? I saw that number. I was shocked. Still, the expected number of travelers is trailing below 2019 when some 49 million Americans, okay, we're really going to play semantics over 48 million versus 49 million. Okay. Sounds good. Americans paid a 5% more so we have inflation. They paid 5% more for goods and services compared to 2020 in May. And now we can expect the national average of gas to be about $3. Travelers are fully aware of the record gas prices and are likely to look for more free activities, eat out less, and take their vacations as planned, according to a AAA spokesperson. Rental cars, used cars, and airfare are the highest jump last month. Rental cars 12.1%, used cars 7.3%, airfare 7% or more, which is just nuts. Daily rental car rates as Independence Day are 86% higher compared to the same period as last year. Man, this is where the article gets good. This is my favorite part. Mid-range hotels are set to cost between $156 and $398 a night. That's over 30% more than what consumers paid for hotels a year ago. Where are we? Here we go. Creative solutions. Over Memorial Day weekend, one traveler MarketWatch spoke to ended up renting a U-Haul truck instead of renting a car to venture through Maui as a result of a rental car shortage. So this guy literally rented a U-Haul, and slept in it and that is absolutely awesome. Hey, smart. You're basically traveling with a mobile bed behind you. It's pretty awesome. So, all right, here we go with another SPAC deal. Before I do this, I meant to open this up beforehand. I want to see the SPAC analytics. I want to see how many SPACs we have this year so far. All right. Let's see if I can blow this up a touch. Okay, so SPACs this year, 2021, 347 SPAC IPOs of the 504. So that's 69% of all IPOs this year have been SPACs. Okay. Sounds good. Actually, that number seems low compared to because the SEC started really going after these SPACs. So that's when I think this number slowed down quite a bit. I mean, granted, in 2020, we had 248. And right now we have about 350. So where was that story? Here we go. Another SPAC, another self-driving thing, another billions and billions of dollars. Here's another, maybe I can, okay, so if anybody knows Stock Mo, tell him that he should go and buy Embark, and just YOLO your life into Embark and see what happens. It'll probably be really good. Sarcasm. Embark Trucks is merging with a special purpose acquisition company to go public in a deal that values a self-driving truck startup at about $5.2 billion. Founded in 2016, Embark says it's the oldest self-driving truck software firm and aims to partner with shippers to bring down carrier costs and making the roads safer. They are going to partner with companies such as Anheuser-Busch, HP Inc., Knight Swift Transportation, the largest truckload carrier in North America. Currently, Embark has a small developmental fleet running some routes out of Southern California, just like all of these do. They have small routes in Southern California. They got a car. They're setting up in Silicon Valley, this and that. Let's see. These companies are competing for customers and hoping to use the deals to raise large sums of money that they need to build out their technology. So they can't do it what the stage they're currently at. So they're going to use these SPAC acquisitions and try to get like $650 million in cash to get this thing going. And good luck to you. The company is trying to differentiate itself by saying that its technology can work with many types of trucks and can easily integrate with existing fleets. This is the only part of the story right here that gives me any confidence to say that this company might be one that can stick around. The company also said on Wednesday that former I thought that Elaine Chao was the former. So I take it back. I don't think that. Yeah. No. The company also said on Wednesday that former Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao is joining its board of directors. So cool. Through the merger, Embark is expected to generate about $615 million in cash proceeds, which they'll use towards their company, and that's the point of SPACs. The Embark deal comes days after news that Amazon plans to buy at least 1,000 self-driving trucks from Plus, that's a company, I guess, and has the option to acquire up to a 20% stake in the company. Plus is merging with a separate SPAC for roughly about a $3.3 billion deal. This is sick. I wish I could just throw around billions and billions of dollars in hopes that something's going to work, but oh well. All right. The SPACs I got last year all made me gains, got out of most, but I got them super cheap. I'm not saying that they don't work. And frankly, if you want to trade these SPACs, have at it. I think it's a great idea to go in and day trade these things and make some money off of them. There's absolutely no doubt. My criticism is how many of these things are we going to have until one actually works? I mean, the leader in the industry is Tesla right now. I don't think they're doing any semi trucks on a grand scale. I mean, I've never seen one. They're probably just testing a few in Silicon Valley, just like they always are. All right, Bitcoin. This is a pretty good one. Bitcoin may slump below $10,000 a coin if this technical analysis is correct. I've heard of this guy's name. Oh yeah, he's the mayor. That's why I know who he is. The problem coming up with the value, oh, this is interesting. Who said this? The problem with coming up with the value of Bitcoin is how you arrive at one. As its critics point out, there is no intrinsic value. There are no future cash flows to discount like a stock because there are no cash flows at all. One way is to come up with extraction, figuring out how much the electricity is and the cost of computing. The third way is technical analysis. And it's funny, when we were looking at some stock yesterday on the live stream, I almost pointed out that it had a double head and shoulders pattern, but the flow was changing and I didn't want to interrupt Paul or Seth when they were talking. But I was starting to see a double head and shoulders, which is a lot of resistance at some point. So I like that idea, Matt. And that's what this guy's seeing on Bitcoin. Frankly, I've never looked at a Bitcoin chart. I don't know what it is. As far as I don't know how it flows. I don't know if it actually works on a long-term scale, because there's nothing. I don't know. But his point is he's seeing a double head and shoulders pattern, and it's going to hit a resistance level, and it can't break through this level right here, and it's just going to keep falling and go back to this support level where it consolidated for a very long time right around here. It's not going to be able to get through this level, and it's just going to come right back down because there's no support in here except maybe those two levels. So interesting story. But again, I don't know how the charts work on Bitcoins. Maybe you do. Okay, so let's see what the rates are doing before we get into a couple stocks, and we'll go from there. So this is nothing doing. The 10 years falling a little bit, but nothing doing. I don't think we're going to see anything special moving in the rates for quite some time. I've talked about earnings that are coming up. Just make sure you're following your earnings, guys. Keep a watch on that. Everythingmoney.com. That's wrong. Patreon.com/everythingmoney. Guys, so we're giving away a Tesla. We hit 50,000 subscribers. We are giving away a Tesla to those of you that join the Patreon, and you're entered. Now, we're giving away a second Tesla Model 3 at 100,000 subscribers. Let me put this in perspective for you. During March Madness, CBS gave away a Nissan Rogue for the winner of the March Madness bracket or something like that. We have 50,000 subscribers, and we're giving away a Model 3 at 50,000, which we're going to pick, and a Model 3 at 100,000. So that's how sweet that is. Anyways, if you want to join the Patreon and get the software, $24 a month. This price is going up every month, and it's going to $50, okay? This is going to $50. You get Discord access, you get discount on merch, and you get all the software for free. It's incredible. If you want to join the Bid and Ask Nation, that's my tier. We're going to do some charts in a few minutes. You'll see here. $68 a month. This is going to $100 a month. You get Discord access. You get access to 600 people, all talking about trading. If you don't know anything about trading and you want to join, that's the place to be. If you want to do a consult with Paul on real estate, $10,000 gets you that, and I think it's worth it. All right, give me some stocks, and we will get moving. Who won the guesses between us? So we hit it at, what time did we hit it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who won the guess. Whoever guessed the latest time won. Let's do Sally's Beauty. I like Sally's Beauty. My guess was, actually, it's funny. My guess was 2 a.m. Eastern time, this morning. And when we were about to record yesterday, I said to Tim, what videos are we putting out at 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock today on YouTube? And he told me them, and I was like, damn, I'm not going to win. Those aren't bangers that are going to get tons of views and tons of subs. So that, my guess was 2 a.m. and I was probably about 5 hours after that. So, all right, let's do Sally's Beauty. Sally's Beauty got a bump. I wonder why. But it's interesting. Here they gapped up and they filled the gap down. So my guess is if you're in this, well, you shouldn't be long. But if you are in this, take your profits on this. You got lucky. It's for sure going to come back down in price. If you can hang above these two moving averages, that's wonderful. But if you want to go long on this thing, what you're really going to need is you got to be in the sweet spot up here. You got to be in the sweet spot. All right. Let's see here. USO is the one I lost 75 G's on last year. Let's check out Zen. Somebody said check out Zen, trust me, and I do trust Solon. Okay. I like that we're in the sweet spot. I like that it has pretty decent volume. Still less volume than a million shares traded per day, but I could probably roll with it. And if we can just get some green engulfing candlesticks moving up, I like that it's over all of our major moving averages. This is a pretty good one. So good. Let's see. Do you ever consider Wish a good day stock? What's Wish? Wish, is that a ticker symbol? If you're gonna write me ticker symbols, please put them in all caps, just in case it looks like Wish, and I actually think you're wishing upon a star. That's wrong. Etsy. All right, Etsy. So little gap down back there, and that's gonna fill. Now the tough part about Etsy is you're right at the 200-day moving average, then you have the 50-day, then you have the 100-day moving average. So this is a hard one. You're just gonna need volume, but just wait. You got to wait until this red line gets into the sweet spot. If you can just move up here and start making a move, you will do okay. Joseph, MasterCard. I can do MasterCard for you. Ooh. All right. If you're in the Bid and Ask Nation, please throw MasterCard on my, just tag me, please. That's all I want. Just tag me. So light this up again. Light this up. We are just entering that sweet spot. Great volume. We took out our last moving average of that 50-day. Good engulfing candlestick. Yeah, I want this. Somebody write this in the chat and please tag me. 3M. I could do 3M. We can do 3M. Okay. Obvious short. The good news is you're sitting right at the 100-day moving average and you're kind of bouncing off of it. So that is the good news for you. You're holding a very strong support level right here, dating back to March of this year. So just hang tight. If you're short on it, you might want to take your profits, and if you're not, don't. All right. Wish is a ticker symbol. Sorry about that. I had texting and driving. Jeez. All right. Just because. Oh, you wanted a day trade, right? Yeah. Yeah. I see. Because it's an IPO. Let's look at it for him on a 15-minute chart. Wish. Markets are open. Yeah. Let's see. Let me zoom out just a touch. Zooming the wrong way. All right. So this does look good for a day trading chart because you get movement here, you get movement here. So what I'm doing, I'm just looking for, does this thing get daily movement? And yes, it does. Look at all these spots that it actually makes a run during the day. Little run here. Back here, it made a run. So it makes a lot of runs during the day. So that's great. This is a good stock to look at to day trade. The volatility is for real. Look at this, 2.5%. That's pretty good. So good call, guys. Good call. Last stock, and then I'm out of here. Guys, I am not going to be here tomorrow or Friday or Monday. I will be back on Tuesday to calm all of your life's worries. But if you want to talk to me while I am traveling to Turks and Caicos and Atlanta, feel free to join the Bid and Ask Nation, and I will be in the Discord. There's no doubt about that. All right, so Microsoft, it's going for all-time highs. If you're in Microsoft, keep holding it. This thing is making new all-time highs, and it's looking really good. If you wanted to do something with this today, is this today's candle? Just want to make sure this is updated to today's candle. It's not. Let me do a quick refresh. All right. So you could have added yesterday. You need an engulfing candlestick today, and you will be okay. Let's see. Somebody just asked me about this. I just want to do one more. Cardinal Health. Still looking okay to me. If you want to know my actual thoughts on it, go in Mo's Trades in the Discord and you can see it. And I gave you everything that I think about Cardinal Health, and we'll go from there. So guys, thank you again. 50,000 subscribers. We hit it this morning. You guys are great. We're only going to keep getting bigger. The software is only going to keep getting better. Everything at Everything Money is just going to keep getting better. And if you're a patron you are going to get a lot more exclusive access. We're going to try to do so much more on Patreon, and a lot, I'm not saying less, but it is going to be less on YouTube. And we just want to give our patrons, those that pay for our software and support us the most, we want to give you guys the most access and the most knowledge. And you guys, this is a great community. So you guys have a great day. Have a great weekend. And if you're not in the Bid&Ask Nation, join it. I'll talk to you this weekend. Smash the like button on your way out. Have a great day. Bye-bye.